Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Don Lemon is finally gone. At least he's gone from primetime. I don't know what this guy did to stay on the network, but somehow he managed to figure it out. And while just a couple weeks ago he was claiming, I was never demoted, it was my decision, I just wanted something new, it seems as though the reality is a little bit different. I don't think Don Lemon was looking to a move to do a morning show. I think Don Lemon didn't have a choice. And you could tell that very clearly because he didn't seem so happy in his final primetime late night show. He seemed, frankly, distraught, to be completely honest with you. Basically on the verge of crying, and of course Don Lemon did what every good little Democrat does. He made the whole thing about himself, made himself the victim, and of course cried racism. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. Let's talk about why it's completely ridiculous. Let's talk about the end of woke media in general, and especially late night talk shows, and another report that's relatively vague coming out of CNN. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so take a look at this tweet right over here. Don Lemon cries racism as he signs off final show after getting bumped off primetime. We're not going to play the whole thing because it's a 3-minute clip, but you'll get the gist of it just from the start.
My back when conservatives attacked me, you had my back. When liberals attacked me, you had my back. When racists attacked, you had my back. And speaking of, when the former president sent armies of bigots and people who threatened my life after me, you had my back as well. Our lives changed together in both good and unfortunate ways. We celebrated the birth of new Don Lemon Tonight family members, and sadly, we saw the deaths of close friends and dear loved ones. I will never forget all of you for carrying me when I could barely stand.
Oh, poor Don Lemon, he's such a victim. The reason Don Lemon's losing his show, at least based on his logic here, is because of the endless attacks. All the unjustified attacks from the right wing, from conservatives, and apparently Donald Trump sending racist people to attack Don Lemon? What? What is this guy even talking about? Don't you love it how it's always a one-way street with these leftoids? Don Lemon, who has been pushing straight up fake news and injecting venom into public discourse. Don Lemon, who's been attacking Donald Trump and conservatives from his primetime show, spreading fake news, lies, and slander over and over and over again. He's the victim from conservative attacks. Don Lemon's career was attacking conservatives. He gets called fake news and all of a sudden, oh my god, I'm the victim. You're no victim, Don Lemon. You're a criminal. And speaking of criminal, I mean, can't this guy be held liable? Isn't that slander or defamation to say on air in front of, I was about to say millions of people, but a couple 100,000 people, that Donald Trump sent racist people to attack you? What proof do you have for that claim? This is why you're getting demoted, little Don Lemon. This is why people criticize you. You're not a victim from conservative attacks. You're just the worst. You're a bad human being and an even worse journalist or reporter. In fact, you're not a journalist and you're not a reporter. You're a lying CNN hack who, in my opinion, might have just added fuel to the fire that is Donald Trump's CNN lawsuit. Not sure how smart that was to claim that Donald Trump sent racist people to attack you right after he's launched his lawsuit to sue your network for $250 or $275 million. I mean, seriously, spare me the crap. All we ever see from these leftist journo types is them playing the victim. You are no victim. It's so incredibly toxic. You have these individuals acting in the most unethical manner possible, and then the moment that it catches up to them, they play the race card, the gender card, and the political card. I'm under attack. Woe is me. I'm just sick of it. You know, this is the exact same thing that we're going to see with Joy-Ann Reid when she inevitably loses her show. Frankly, it's probably why she hasn't lost it already. MSNBC is probably mortified, petrified, terrified to get rid of Joy-Ann Reid, because knowing Joy, what's probably going to happen, she's probably not just going to call racism when she gets fired or loses her show, she's probably going to sue for discrimination or some nonsense like that. And actually, speaking of the fact that Don Lemon is still on the network, I wonder what he pulled behind the scenes, because considering the absolute total wipeout that's happening at CNN, it's honestly very surprising that Don Lemon, of all people, is surviving the CNN Purge. Oh, and speaking of the CNN Purge, Don Lemon is, of course, as we've been saying, or as we've been predicting, not going to be the last one. The CNN Purge continues, and we have it from the most reliable source, John Nicosia, who has been on top of all of this scoop. Another, quote, big big name is about to exit CNN. Stay tuned. Discovery executive, he does not have a place in the new CNN. He reminds us of the Zucker period we are looking to move far from. The only reason he is still on the air was to not look like we were, quote, cleaning house for political reasons. Right after the closing, I agreed not to report the name until the end of the week. What do you guys think it is? A big name from CNN is going to be fired by the end of the week, and that is directly from a Discovery executive. I'll say it right here, it's either Jake Tapper or Jim Acosta. Most likely, probably Jim Acosta. He is the biggest embarrassment on the network. And actually, following what we just heard from Don Lemon, the same kind of nonsense always comes out of his mouth. He's the biggest fake news peddler, the biggest hack from the White House press corps during Donald Trump's first term, doing nothing but attacking the president over and over again. And what does Don Lemon say anytime anyone criticizes him or anytime Donald Trump hits back? Oh, woe is me, I am a victim. Donald Trump and these extremist Republicans and their unrelenting attacks on the media and the press. They're fascists, I say. Give me a break. Don Lemon, Jake Tapper, Anderson Cooper, Jim Acosta, the whole lot of them are vultures. And it's high time somebody holds them to account. You did your little Jeff Zucker endorsed anti-Trump, anti-Republican shtick. Now it's over. And actually, speaking of that era being gone at CNN, I could probably mention this viral moment from earlier in the week. You know CNN is moving away from their Jeff Zucker anti-Trump grift when Caitlyn Collins, of all people, CNN's Caitlyn Collins, is publicly calling out Maggie Haberman, suggesting that she has a special relationship with Donald Trump and essentially that her entire journalistic shtick and the books that she's selling are nothing but an anti-Donald Trump grift.
How has your relationship to and with Trump, how does that come through in your reporting? Because you have a relationship with him like very few other people do.
So I disagree with you there. I think he's a subject who I cover. I covered Hillary Clinton. I covered Mike Bloomberg. I covered Rudy Giuliani in his final term in office at City Hall, and then his presidential campaign, and then versions of him in the last several years. I covered it more of a remove, Presidents Clinton, Obama, W. Now he just interprets coverage differently. The word relationship, I think, is not the right one.
Relationship too, I think he thinks of you in a certain singular way that separates you from other reporters.
I just don't think that's true. I don't. I don't. I mean, I think he's obsessed with the Times, and I think that's a lot of it.
I think some Times reporters would disagree with you. The Times reporters who wish they had a book. This is
lots of Times reporters with a book. We're doing okay.
This is a question not from the...
When CNN is pushing this kind of line of questioning, you know that serious change is coming. Honestly, though, I gotta give it to Caitlyn Collins. She's somewhat redeemed herself. She's been relatively decent. Over the last 6 months or so, she's been asking some hard-hitting questions at press events, going after the Biden administration's lies in many different ways. And ever since Jeff Zucker is gone, Caitlyn Collins has seemed to do a complete 180. And that's quite telling about what's happening at CNN behind closed doors. They are cleaning house. They're changing the image. The Jeff Zucker era is over and done with, and I'm just enjoying it from afar. Oh, poor little Don Lemon, poor little guy. Here's the perfect meme to describe how Don Lemon is feeling right now. Putting on a mask as if everything's okay. It's all going according to plan, folks. It was my decision to leave the network, or to drop down rather. Give me a break. You can tell Don Lemon is absolutely distraught. You're no victim, little Donnie Lemonhead. It's time to sit the F down, take a seat, and go cover the Kardashians or some other nonsense on a morning talk show. Nobody feels bad for you. This is what we call justice, karma. Like I said earlier, you're no victim. You're the perpetrator. You're the criminal. A fake news CNN criminal hack. That's what I got for you guys, though. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.